Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Omnibros Live for the final time on a Thursday for 2024. Feels kind of weird. This year has been hectic, but we're here. We're happy. We're excited. We're going to geek out with all of you talking about manga, which we love. It's me, Gio from Manga Geekdom, and I'm joined by the insufferable Omnibus Collector. How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
We were a little bit late. We were catching up because last week you were continuing your vacation. You were away. So I hadn't talked to you in person or in camera in a while. So we were catching up. And tonight, the plan was something else. Last week I said, oh, next week we're going to do blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, hey, wait a minute. Jess, Omnidog, gets really upset when we bring up manga on the Monday stream. So I thought, why don't I just take the manga stuff from the Omnis, the best of show that we do, and we make a separate stream of it, just manga. So I copied some of our Omnis categories, and I'm adapting it to this stream for manga. We're celebrating our awards, if you will, awarding the best manga of 2024. So I hope you enjoy the stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk some books. I got all of them displayed over here, but you can't see anything because it's super dark. That's on purpose. It's a mystery. So thank you all once again for joining. And let's give a big shout out to our lovely sponsor, InStockTrades.com, your home for collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperback, hardcovers, and manga for great discounted prices that range from 35 to 40, 50, 55% off. It's crazy over there. Free shipping in the US at $50 or more. And there's the loyalty discount, which adds an extra 2% discount to your books if you make the orders on a week-by-week basis. Great packaging and wonderful customer service only at InStockTrades.com. And don't forget, next Monday, the final show of the year, we will be doing the gift card giveaway valued at $50, open to anybody out there in the world. All you got to do is show up and hang out with us on that show, and we'll pick out a winner. And I do have to mention at the top of the show that Monday stream, there will actually be two streams. We got to fulfill our contract with our sponsor. So we're going to do the previews, hauls, reads, all that stuff in a separate broadcast. It's going to be a shorter one, like 30 to 40 minutes. And then a couple minutes later, we'll do the Omnis with special guests and all that stuff. So hope you tune in for both streams next Monday. So shout out. How will we find out what Omnidog's best big personality manga was? I don't know. Probably Gigant. Let's see. Let me share my page here. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. I had it open and I closed it by accident. I'm not a professional, guys. Okay, let me share my screen here. We're going to visit InStockTrades.com. Okay, so these are the current deals of the week, which we revealed on Monday. So if you want to find out about that stuff, you got to tune into the Monday shows. We have Ambassadors Library Edition at 46% off. You got that Batman, Battle for the Cowl, 50% off. Iron Man Modern Era Epic Collection, 46% off. You got the X-Men Epic Collection Volume 10 at 46% off, and the Nightwing hardcover Volume 6 at 50% off. And of course, your new releases with one of the most highly anticipated books of 2024 right here, Ashita no Joe, Fighting for Tomorrow, hardcover 1, and all the other cool books as well. You got your top sellers with insane deals happening right now. Look at Micronauts at 38% off, but then you got stuff like ROM being heavily discounted. There's some really nice discounts happening right now. Go to sales, year-end sales, and you can find some cool stuff there. So shout out once again to InStockTrades.com. Boom. There we go. So, how you been? Did you haul anything interesting that you want to mention to the peeps?
I mostly got comics for like around Christmas. And I did get like a bunch of manga stuff, but I can't like I put things away. Actually, let me grab a couple things because there's a couple things that might be of interest to to people to see. One thing I grabbed when I was in New York was the
Oh, look at that.
this is JoJo Magazine, the Winter 2023. I have the previous issues. This, I believe, was the only one that they had. I'm like double checking my shelf. I think this is the only one that was at the Kinokuniya that I was at that I didn't have. So I grabbed that one. And then, although the definitive editions are coming out of Vagabond, I never had the last volume or the
Ooh, nice.
last volume that was released. It's still
Right.
on this, of course. Volume 37, which was reprinted. So now I finally have a copy of this in hand. And assuming the definitive editions are going to be like basically just hard covers of the Vizbigs, this is still going to be something I'll want to have on my shelf.
Right.
Before I run and grab a couple of things, I showed on TikTok, you can see right there the Delicious in Dungeon box set.
Ooh, nice, cool.
So Yen was kind enough to send that my way.
Awesome.
And I did a little comparison video. It's about 5 minutes on TikTok if you want to check that out, showing off the entirety of the box set and comparing it to the single volumes. And excuse me, the volumes in the box set are a little bit smaller than they're not smaller trim size. They're a little bit thinner than the individual ones, but without a noticeable loss of
paper quality.
Yeah, paper quality or anything like that. So
cool.
The price of the volumes themselves are $15 each. The price of the box set is $15 more than the price of all the individuals added up. So it does cost a little bit more, but you do get the big box. And like Yen Press does, in my opinion, from like the box sets that I have and have seen, they do the best job with those. They
I agree.
Work into making sure they're good. And this one came with actually like the best poster that I've ever seen included in one of these.
Yeah, that's a cool poster. I would like to get that box set just for that poster. I'll be honest.
I want to flatten this out,
Frame it.
Yeah, frame it, flatten out the creases as much as I can. Let me go grab a couple things real quick. I completely forgot, but a couple things that might be of interest.
Speaking of, since you showed off that monster poster, I'm going to surprise him. Should I reveal it? I'll do it. Whatever. I don't care. It's the end of the year. I'm going to shock, disappoint, and surprise some others. But I was curious, and I got this book a long ass time ago, and I've never talked about it because it technically isn't a manga, but it is related to monsters. So I was thinking, if I ever get that Delicious in Dungeon box set, I would like to display that poster. And at one point, I would love to have a display for monster creatures, monster girls, monster things. And one of the things I got, and I can't open the inside because it's not safe for work. Riley knows about it, but I haven't shown it off or anything. I got from Seven Seas. This is a wild ass book. I'll be honest with you. I got the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. I can't show the insides. I'm so sorry. I can't show this. There's a lot of text right there. But as a sucker, I love data books. That's something that I really enjoy. It just so happens that a lot of the manga that I read, I'm not interested in those specific data books, like the Naruto or whatever. But I love the idea of just writing about the different creatures in anthropomorphic form. And let's see if I can show an actual design that's not blued or anything. The mummy, sure. But nope. No, wait, can I? I'll censor the image with my hand. All right. So you'll get an entry like this with a lot of text and an illustration right there. So it gets looter as you read. So I can't show you. but it's fun. It's silly, goofy fun, and I don't know. I saw the poster for Delicious and Dungeon and thought, hey, what if I build a section of my library to monster creatures and do that, like yokai, monsters, uh, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know.
Cats.
Uh, Javier, it was cool seeing you, Gio, on Near Mint Condition. Thank you so much for checking out that video. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Omar graciously always asks me. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll talk for a minute or two, and they all talk about comics. I'm like, you know what? It's good. I'm gonna inject some manga goodness in that wholesome video. So I talked about a particular series. If you want to check it out, go to Nearman Conditions channel. Check it out. I'm not going to reveal which one it is. And I have to look at the video to find out.
I always like forget to do it whenever he asks us.
Right.
And then this time was even worse because he like put it out there, and it was, I think, like right before I was leaving for vacation. I was like, all right, I'm not even going to think about it this time.
It happens. Yeah. He did put out the call, and Jess did one. I could do it. You were busy, and Lou didn't really read that many comics, so he skipped on it. So no Omni Bros representation this time. Maybe next year.
So I pulled a couple things off the shelf that I got recently that might be of interest. This one is not strictly manga, but from PO2 or PO2
Cool.
publisher. This is X-Mag Volume 5, Vampire Bloodsucker.
Hell yeah, you had me at Vampire.
X-Mag is an anthology series where each volume is a different like genre or has a different focus. So I think like they did like a mech-based volume before. So volume 5 is all stories with vampires. It's got a bunch of different creators. There's a little fold-out kind of.
Whoa, not safe for work. Demonetized.
That's a dude. It's a dude's pet. Here's another piece. Not strictly manga by like depending on your definition of things. There are a couple of Japanese artists present in this volume. Let me see if I can find those stories and show their artwork. Sorry, 1 second here. Get to page 100. So we've got Akino Kogomi's Times Have Changed right here.
Oh, cool.
I should probably be careful and make sure these pages are safe for work.
I confused the red eye with the iris with a nipple and got scared for a minute.
Yeah, that's exact. I was like, I should probably stop for a second. And then
is that a red pasty? What is happening? But no, it's an eye. We're good.
Where's the other one?
We're good, Google. Don't flag us. Jesus. My favorite moment on this show, doing Manga Thursdays, was when we were doing the solicits and we got taken down and we didn't even notice because we were just showing manga covers. Weird.
This is Nosferatu Underdrawings by Takato Yamamoto.
Oh, right on point. Yeah.
I know. We went and saw Nosferatu yesterday, actually.
Like Bob said, is Happy Nosferatu Day.
Yeah, we went and
did you like it?
Family, yeah, I loved it. Like
nice.
My family does Christmas on the 24th at night.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have anything going on at all on Christmas Day, and the movie came out, and we're trying to watch every horror movie, so that's the last one of the year. And I came out and I was like, man, I fucking love that movie. Like that it did something. Sometimes you watch something or you read something and it just kind of like something to your brain chemistry. It just like to quote the kids these days, makes your brain go burr. Like, and that I came out of that movie like I am changed. Like this is great, and it's Eggers who did the Lighthouse and the Witch, or the Vivitch, depending on how you want to say it. I never watched.
This is part of that trilogy saga. So
It's one of his. He also did the Norseman, but I never, or the Northman, but I never watched that one. I need to.
ooh, yeah.
But so I kind of knew what to expect as far as like the type of narrative that it was going to be, or not narrative, the type of direction it would go in, and it was exactly what I was expecting. It's this like slow, dark, haunting terror that takes you over as the movie goes. Like, I literally sitting there was like wide-eyed expression, like felt like I was being grasped by the throat by like this film. It just overtook me the entire time. I was completely taken aback by it. And
I want to see it.
I'll admit I have never watched the original Nosferatu, so I can't make comparisons, but it was really great. And what's his name, who plays the vampire, who plays Count Orlok?
Homie that did the other thing, the other horror character.
He did Pennywise. Is it Bill Skarsgård, I believe?
I think so.
He is entirely unrecognizable. Like, if you didn't know that he was in the cast, if you did not know going in that it's him, you wouldn't. There's no way to recognize that it's him at all. Even further beyond the makeup and stuff they did for Pennywise. Right. So I highly recommend it. Lou and I have been talking about like doing a best of horror show for the year, because both of us have watched a lot of them. We love horror movies, and so I let him know, just once you watch that one, that's it for the year. Tell me what day, and I'll make myself available for you, so I can be on the show and do that. And I can't wait, because I've got a lot to talk about. But the other thing I grabbed that I wanted to talk about was Yen also sent me the Ubel Blatt hardcover, and I haven't opened it. I was going to open it whenever I make a video, so I can kind of give my very first impressions. But here it is. It's same trim as like the Dark Horse Deluxe hardcovers.
Oh, and it has the thingy on the page, right? And
yes,
I don't remember the terminology.
It has the printed edges on the page.
That looks great.
So very nice looking. I'm assuming that each volume is going to have a different image on there. None of y'all might have know about this one. It's from, not this one, but Seven Seas publishes Danmei and stuff, and they recently were releasing the Heaven Official's Blessing hardcovers. And they have images on the spines as well that like connect to each. So like there's a connecting image on the pages, on the printed pages. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar, because the motif looks like it's painting on a brick. And so I'm wondering if it's going to do that. Don't ask me anything about the book itself, because I haven't read this. I've had the first 2 paperbacks for a while and never got on them. And then as soon as they announced this, I was like, I'm going to get that. Whether they send it to me or not, I was going to buy this. But they were gracious enough to send it my way, and I'm extremely thankful for that. It's gorgeous.
I thought about buying it, but with a tighter budget right now and limited space, I'm like, maybe not. And instead, lucky me, I forgot that there's an anime adaptation, and it comes out next month on Prime Video. So I will watch the show instead of buying the manga. And if I do like it, eventually I'll grab the books at some point.
If this had come out earlier in the year, this probably would have been a major contender. One of the categories that we have on tonight's show, because it is absolutely gorgeous. But I didn't spend enough time with it. I haven't even opened it up to like really know what it looks like. But I will put a video of this on TikTok, so you can see if you're curious. There's probably other people have shown the interior and everything, and given a big look at it. But if you want my take on it, just wait a day or two, and I'll have it up over there as well.
Cage, thank you for joining. Appreciate it, buddy. The categories. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 categories. We got best writer, best art, or you could do best artist, whatever. Because sometimes we see that nowadays where you have a duo creating the manga, not just one mangaka.
Yes.
Best manga publisher in North America. We got best shonen, seinen, or best shonen, best seinen, best shojo. We got our most anticipated release for 2025, and the best collected edition, best designed manga, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, those are our categories. Nothing fancy. I ain't got no graphics. Sorry. I literally came up with this topic, this show, early in the morning. So yeah. James, it's not a horror movie, but Anora is very good. I don't know that.
I'll have to catch it if it heads to streaming.
You know what was a good or a bad horror experience? Uzumaki, the anime.
Except for like the first episode.
First episode and
10,
bits
10.
and pieces of the fourth episode. Just bits of
it. The first episode was a 10 out of 10. And honestly,
then I went,
it's worth it just to watch the first episode,
right.
And then you can just tune out.
I hope at some point they will want to make like a movie out of it and use that same animation, and just forget about Adult Swim or whatever that disaster was. Just go like full Japanese market and forget about us. So there's no controversy.
That was full on a WB thing, and that was
Right.
that was another impact of David Zaslav or whatever, gutting fundings on things, and that's what happens, and that's why there was a lot of, it was a tumultuous thing from beginning to end. There was a lot that happened, and COVID got in the way, of course, because the production started pre-COVID, but ultimately he was the one that cut funding on that. So
son of a gun. Well, we will not disappoint you tonight. Let's start with I'm gonna pick one at random. You know what? Let's do the shonen stuff. Let's do our picks our pick for best shonen manga released in 2024. Let's do that. What you got? I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna be the most predictable and boring that I can be, and
Boruto. I'm kidding.
It's always, honestly, almost every year until it's done for me, it's gonna be One Piece. And this year was such a big year for the series for me, because now with like not just reading it week to week, but now that I'm going through from the beginning and watching it from episode 1 and going forward, and currently we just arrived at Ennie's lobby. So, and watching it with someone who it's their first time, it's fun to watch someone experience it for the first time while I am experiencing parts of the series that have echoes is not the right word, but there's like reference to in current chapters, reference to what I'm reading now, or like what I'm watching now. What I'm watching now references things that you learn about much later on, and it's so cool, like kind of having that those echoes back and forth between watching it from the beginning and all that stuff. And it's reaching the part where they're at now. I don't know how much of a spoiler it is, so I'm not going to say like what the current arc is, but reaching that island, something that we were like informed about almost at the beginning of the series, and now like they're there. It's constantly feeling so fulfilling. And it just goes to show like how, even though admittedly a lot of what is in the series is Oda just kind of coming up with more stuff on the spot.
Yeah.
he has either A, done a lot of great foreshadowing, or B, came up with good ways to come back around to the stuff that he mentioned in the past. Either
That's a
way,
talent. Yeah,
does it
that's a talent.
really well, and he's just a fantastic writer. And I can't, like, I've gotten so emotional about this series this year, like so many different things about it, like watching it be propelled into more of the main, I'm not going to say the mainstream here in the US, but more of a mainstream
But
entity.
it got bigger and bigger. So
Yeah, and it's like I posted on Twitter when we were in New York last week, like 20 plus years ago when I first started reading it, like there was nothing One Piece anywhere. Like I would be lucky
Mhm.
to find something at like Kinokuniya probably had an art book, like an early art book or something, because when I started reading it, they were only in Skypiea. So there wasn't that much material there, but I wouldn't find anything is the point. Like there was no merch. And then this time, literally like walking in Times Square, there's a Miniso now, and it had like a whole section of One Piece merch. Just
Nice.
random like face masks and socks and like toiletries and like a little carpet and stuff, like a little mat, like a doormat.
Yeah.
And so many things that like it's crazy, like random merch like that, and it made me kind of feel emotional about that. And just, Luffy's in the Thanksgiving parade again.
Mhm.
They did
With the
uh
hat, didn't blow. It didn't deflate.
deflate. You didn't get a bucket hat this time. They already did one sports collaboration before, and now they're doing with the Lakers as well
Right.
in 2025. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's like my love for this series never goes away. Sometimes, I have times where I pay a little less attention to it, but it's been for me, it's been a banner year for the series, for both new chapters and old material, and just being a fan of it in general. So, that is why for me this is once again the shonen of 2024.
Heck
Shonen.
yeah. Thank you so much, Kane. You guys are never a disappointment. Thank you. Appreciate that. Javier, I just got the first 3-in-1 for Christmas. Can't wait to read. Let's go, dude. That's the edition I have. I collect One Piece with the Omnibus 3-in-1. So welcome to the club. You've been making me so emotional about it, and I'm not even caught up right now.
You have to catch up. And I was talking to them about the current stuff, and I was like, dude, like, because I was behind earlier in the year, and one of my friends, when we were talking about like the ideas of what we have for what's going to happen in the series, I was like, or he just looks at me and he's like, you should probably catch up, because I said something and he's like, you should catch up. And Fatima did the same thing the other day, and I told them like, you should probably catch up with the series just by things that they're saying about it.
When did the Netflix show start? Was that last year or this year?
2023, I think,
Oh,
August of last year. And
that certainly helped boost the popularity here a little bit more.
absolutely, like I know there's a lot of people who don't care for it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it definitely boosted its into in the US. Like it brought a lot of attention to it for many reasons, because there's a lot of people who would not watch an anime,
Mm-hmm.
and that was more appealing to them. But there's also the people who had been slightly interested in One Piece, but it's such a long series, and they're like, well, let me try with this because it's only uh 10 episodes or whatever it was for the live action. And
I have not seen it, by the way. I haven't.
8 episodes, 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It's very enjoyable. I've watched it through twice. I had a great time.
Nice. Love it. That is true. So many things to read, though. Absolutely.
But it's One Piece.
H-Field, I barely read any shonen, so I guess I got to say Dandadan is my shonen pick. Dandadan.
It's not a bad pick.
You and I are polar opposites for shonen. I got something else for shonen. Let me grab the book here. My pick is something that I was excited for as soon as I learned that it was solicited, and I am so happy that I own it. I got my copy here of Thunder 3. I really enjoyed this first volume. I love the concept. Basically, these kids, they live in a shonen like Earth where they're drawn like super cartoony, as you can see, and they're just normal, annoying teenagers. They're after like girls, or they're playing video games, normal stuff. They got a kooky professor teacher, and he's always going off on like tangents about parallel worlds and all that stuff. So on a random day, the teacher says like, "Hey, I found this disc that supposedly holds the key to an alternate universe or whatever." So randomly, he didn't. I think he bought it for like $600, which is cheap for what it is. And the kids were like, "Oh, can we borrow it so we can play it and see what happens?" So they don't have a Blu-ray player, so they decide to put it on the main character's PlayStation console. I think it's a PS5, and so it's up to date with its references. That's cool. So the disc opens on the TV, a portal to another world. Turns out that world is an alternate Earth. And in that world, when they climb into it, it's drawn super realistically, similar to like Gantz. A lot of people make the comparison that what if it is the creator of Gantz doing this under a different name? But I don't think so. I want to think it's a little bit more original than that. One of the biggest plot points of this book is that the main character's sister, she accidentally jumps into the TV and is in that other Earth. And that Earth is invaded by aliens. The aliens are fascinated by this visitor who happens to be an alien, if you think about it, and they kidnap her. So the boys go in to save the young girl. And I love that this is secretly a superhero comic in disguise. The kids find out that due to their different atomical structure in this new world, their actions are more superpowered. So if they'll leap, they will leap hundreds of feet in the air, or if they run, they can run super fast, like the Flash and stuff like that. So now it's becoming like a superhero rescue mission of these kids going up against the aliens and stuff. And honestly, the best part about this is the art. If I show you this part right here, you can take a look at how cartoony everything looks. And when you go into the real world, if you will, let me show you a scene here. Random scene. Yeah. This is when the little girl is being chased by the aliens. You can see how realistic everything looks. I love the differences in art style. That is really cool to me. And the characters, like on that Earth, when they see the main protagonist, they think, "Oh, it's a funny, cute anime character. What's happening?" And I talked about this on my video, that if a comic strip character were to jump out of the page, we would probably react the same way. You can see here the differences. So I am so excited for Volume 2. Can't wait to continue the story. There's more of the art. So definitely do check it out. Very, very quick read, fast-paced, and fun characters, I think. So that's my pick for Shonen. Thunder 3, Volume 1. Whew. Not sure if it's considered shonen. Asadora has easily climbed to my most favorite manga so far. Asadora, I'm like 3 volumes behind. I need to catch up, but it's really good. Next up on our category, excuse me, I got a million things open here. Let's do seinen. What was your pick for best seinen book of 2024?
There's a lot of them that I enjoy, and it's hard to like nail down one like above the others, I guess. So let me just go to the section over here and pull something out and then talk about it.
Right.
See.
Let's see. Let me. Is that the name of it? Yeah. Okay. My pick is pretty interesting. I think I talked about most of my picks. I talked about on my channel, so there should be videos about everyone. every pick that I'm going to discuss. Also, for best design, I may have cheated a little bit. Just warning everybody, because when you see what I picked, you're gonna go like, "Oh, of course," but I'm gonna keep you guessing. It's not what you expect.
Let me double check which magazine this is printed in. So, no.
You guys remember Vampire Hunter D? Good series, yeah. Vampire Hunter D is awesome. I've not read the novels, only a little bit of the first one, but I did enjoy both movies, the first one and Bloodlust.
So
Which reminds me, sorry, go ahead.
My seinen random pick, because there's so many good seinen. I grabbed Rooster Fighter off the shelf.
Let's go, dude! Hell yeah!
And like Asadora is a seinen also, and that one's definitely up there. It's fantastic character work. I was thinking about talking about Zom 100 because it's just such a joy every volume. But I like to give attention to things, unless I'm talking about One Piece, but like things that don't have as much attention as I feel like it should have. So I chose to mention Rooster Fighter. Geo obviously is a big fan of Rooster Fighter, and
Absolutely.
every volume is just a bunch of dumb fun. It's, if you're not familiar, it's a rooster who fights kaiju and various oni and demons and stuff like that. And it's great. It's action packed. It's violent. It's stupid. It's funny. It's
And
literally
heartwarming, heartbreaking at the same time. Sorry.
yeah, and it's literally just look how muscular. Like
Hell yeah.
it's just a rooster. It's a normal sized rooster fighting these giant monsters. And the anime is coming out soon as well. It's one of those books that like is just always fun. And that sometimes is just what I need, is like a book that I can crack open and like have a good time. And Rooster Fighter never fails to do that. So if you're a fan of kaiju, if you're a fan of that kind of thing, this is a really fun one to get into. And it's one of those things where it's like, who the hell thought this up? Like, who the hell sits there and is like, I'm going to make a series where a rooster
Fights a demon and
fights.
rides on the back of a turtle. What?
It's great. I love it.
The creator for that manga has a huge following in Latin America, and he's learning Spanish and tweeting in Spanish for the fans and stuff. It's really awesome. So I'm a fan. I can't get enough of Rooster Fighter. Rooster Fighter is so great. Even Omnidog knows about it. Yeah. Kane watched the Zom 100 anime, which was entertaining. I do want to read the manga. The art on the manga is great. I'm not up to date with it, and I don't have all the volumes, but it looks great from what I've read and own. My pick for seinen is from who the heck published this? Fantagraphics. All right, I picked Search and Destroy, Volume 1.
That was a really good one.
This is fantastic. This is how you do a reimagining. It reimagines Dororo from Osamu Tezuka into this pulpish noir filled adventure with futuristic tech, but it's old and grimy and gross at times. There's this country that just finished a war recently, so there are a lot of themes there with the disenfranchised and veterans and stuff like that. And it retells the story of Dororo, but you have this girl right here. Her parts are stolen, and she is going to get them back from essentially the mafia, and a lot of weird perverse villains, and perverse in that they scheme and they're disgusting and vile. Not that this is going to show you like X-rated stuff. And one of the best things one of the best things about this is the art. It is breathtakingly good. Like the heavy inks here makes this a unique experience that you need to check out. This stream right here is not doing it justice. You need to check out this book. And I think it captures the essence of Dororo. It does a great job at it while adding its own flair to it, its own sense of horror. Because Dororo is a supernatural horror manga, as you have demons in the original. Here, the demons are humanity. And I mean, look at this. This is so good. And it sucks that we have to wait so long for volume 2. Like 4 more months, I think, or 5. It's crazy. It's only going to be 3 volumes, so it's not going to be a huge series to collect. But I highly, highly recommend it. Super fun. There you go. Cyberpunk Dororo is absolutely inspired. Yeah.
It's great.
And I love how I love the contrast, because you see the robot masters, if you will, and the greed and luxury that they live in compared to the slums and the people. It's pretty shocking to read. Yeah, check it out. Search and Destroy.
That was one that, like, when I read it, I put it down and immediately was like, absolute cinema. Like, this is
The meme.
and this book is amazing. Like, it's everything that you said about it is great. And yeah, that one of the biggest things that I pointed out was like the heavy inks in there, and it's very reminiscent to works. I think Charles Burns' works.
Okay, yeah.
The use of heavy blacks and heavy inks on everything, which adds just a certain type of gravity and mood to it. So excellent pick.
Thank you. Volume 1 of Search and Destroy was awesome, and the art is beautiful. Though honestly, I think my favorite seinen read of the year is Sketchy. Nice. I have not read Sketchy yet, but I do want to check it out.
That is another good one.
Right.
And one of the titles that Kodansha wants you to think is a josei.
They still have that in the back of the.
Yeah, it's on the back. No, it's a seinen. It's published in a seinen magazine. Like they have on the back of the volumes. They've been calling it a josei.
I think they, at this point, they don't care about fixing it, and the template's already there, so they're like, just print it. Keep printing.
No, and they did that on purpose. Like they wanted to, because they looked at that and they were like, oh, all the main characters are women. We want to market this to that audience. And it's like, you didn't have to call it anything. Like you didn't have to say josei seinen, or you don't have to say the demographic. You could have just said like it's a series about female skateboarders, and like your audience would have come to it.
Yeah, there's ways around it. You didn't have to mention any of that.
Yeah.
William Lee. So I need to read Rooster Fighter? Yes, absolutely. Go read it right now. Buy the first volume, please.
Absolutely read it. I think is it on one of the apps? Is it on the Viz app?
It should be on the Viz app.
So if you have the Viz app, or if you want to, like, they might have a trial for it, or if you want to just pay for it for a month, it's a really quick read. So you can check it out that way. I think there's 6 volumes out right now.
6, yeah. Rooster Fighter. I'm on the Viz thing. Rooster Fighter. Okay. If you want to read Rooster Fighter, damn it. What the hell? Volume 1. Oh, but I can't look at the individual chapters. Well, never mind. You can find it. It's like $11 digitally. If you want to do physical, it's probably like $12. Next category, we'll keep the best of going. Best shojo release of 2024. Which one was that for you?
So mine, it came down to 2 separate ones. And if Fatima is still in the chat, I'm sorry, you're going to be disappointed, because In the Clear Moonlit Dusk was one of the 2 choices. And I was going to, because it is my favorite ongoing shoujo series right now. I absolutely love In the Clear Moonlit Dusk from Kodansha. But I have to highlight Red River, because this was just so good. Like, I'm so happy that they reprinted this because I'd never picked it up before. I never got a chance to read it, and it is just such a great fantasy drama series. It is an isekai, before they really were using the term,
The term, yeah.
before it was really popularized. But the main character is a Japanese teenager, who is transported into like basically ancient Rome, and there's this whole political intrigue stuff that's going on that she kind of gets tied into, and it's just such a grasping story that, like, even though this is a 3-in-1, almost 600 pages of material in there, I pulled through this like so quickly because I was just drawn in and couldn't stop flipping through the pages. So I'm like so happy that this was picked up again or was reprinted by Viz. I'm so glad that this is out there. And hey, yeah, but I knew like it's a good one to choose. If I'm not going to choose in the Clear Moonlit Dusk, this is a good one to go with. And it was
Right.
like this close, and I feel like I had to talk because this is something that, like, I don't know if enough people picked it up or not. Like, I want to make sure that, like, I talk about it as many times as I can
Right.
to make sure that, like, it gets the attention so that Viz knows, like, there are fans out there who are picking up these things.
Mhm.
But if you haven't read In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, in my opinion, it is a perfect introductory, like, shojo romance title. So if you've never read a shojo romance and you're curious, to see if that might be your vibe, or you might want to read some shojo romance to see how it differs from a shonen or a seinen romance, I think that In the Clear Moonlit Dusk is a really perfect one. It's got beautiful artwork, great characters, and there's only 7 volumes so far in English. I think there's 8 in Japan maybe right now, but it's still ongoing. So yeah, check both of them out, but absolutely get Red River if you're into fantasy, if you're into stuff
It's
in that
like
type of setting.
historical fiction too. Yeah.
Yes, historical fiction. Uh, this is something that you should get, and the artwork is really great. And I think, like, if you are a fan of, um, God, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Sorry.
Uh,
Masami Kuramada's artwork from Knights of Zodiac, Saint Seiya. The artwork here is kind of reminiscent of that, and that has not like the same setting, but it deals with mythology and stuff, and so you can kind of imagine how that holds.
uh,
That.
Volume 1 of Red River is still available at in stock trades, 30% off, $11. And Volume 2 comes out at the end of January. So
Heck yeah.
go get it. Kane, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, A Sinner of the Deep Sea, Is it Shoujo, and In the Name of the Mermaid Princess are my top picks. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess for sure is. Sinner of the Deep Sea, I have my doubts. I don't know. Is it? I love that series.
Smoking is a seinen title.
Seinen,
I'm not sure about Sinner of the Deep Sea. I haven't
Let
seen
me
it.
Google this real quick. It is listed as a seinen, so it's a very pretty seinen, and is actually was one of my contenders for best art in manga this year. I love the artist for that one. For shoujo, I really loved Volume 1 of Otaku Vampire's Love Bite. Such a funny and great read, but for a continuing series, My Girlfriend's Child is still amazing. I don't have a lot. I've read shoujo manga, but I don't own a lot physically, and I was debating which one to get, and I kind of had a hunch that you might go with Red River because it is a really popular one and a good one. I have it too, but I went with HQ, and this is my pick.
Nice.
I am enamored by this series. I love the character. She is super wholesome, quirky, fun, with a dash of mystery thrown in there, and it is so much fun. I genuinely had a good time reading this. I had a laugh with the characters' antics. Basically, Hina, she is a vampire, um, an otaku, and her dad wants her to go out and explore the world and stuff. But she's a shut-in nerd, and he gives her a vampire anime to enjoy, and she loves it. So she decides, hey, instead of just enjoying things here in Europe and in my room and stuff, let's go to the source. So she travels by herself to Japan and is living her otaku dream as she is befriending people online, talking about what's the name of the anime? Vampire Cross Anime, and buying figures and going to themed cafes and doing all of that nerdy stuff. Her neighbor in the apartment complex, he looks like one of the characters in the anime, so she is obsessed with him, as you can see here in the cover. And it's her, what you think, her naive nature. That's one of the fun aspects of the character, but there's more to her. I don't want to spoil it because the reveal was actually pretty cool. So there's more to her than meets the eye. And I really enjoy her character design because I've met, believe it or not, I've met people like this. But super funny. I love the wacky expressions as well. So this was very sweet. I do recommend it. Only volume 1 is out, and volume 2 comes out next month as well. So that was my pick for favorite shojo that I read. No, right here.
You said more than meets the eye, and now the Transformers theme song.
Hina Alucard, fashionable queen, absolutely. Yeah, and the fashion on here is pretty good too. Yeah. Let's see. Damn it! I have 2 documents and I keep opening the wrong one. Sorry, folks. If you see a flash of light, it's me opening a Word document. That's not for this show. All right. So the next one, let's do manga publisher. What was your favorite or best manga publisher for 2024?
I was gonna go with an easy one and say Viz because they do publish most of my favorite works. I mean, literally all 3 books I just mentioned are Viz, but I wanted to highlight in general what Dark Horse has done this year, and the fact that continuing this trend, I think that 2025 and on, they're just gonna become be doing bigger, better, more exciting things, just continuing what they've been doing. And they've got I believe this year, I know Trigun, obviously it was delayed a lot, but we got 4 out of the 6 volumes of the Trigun hardcovers have come out. I believe it was this year that they finally started putting out the Oh My Goddess omnibus line again. They've continued with things, but it's also the things that they've announced. And they released the H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness hardcover. They did more of the Lovecraft paperbacks. They started publishing Innocent. They did all 3 volumes of Innocent, actually, the Omnis. So they've just been doing hit after hit after hit. They announced they're bringing back Gunsmith Cats. They've announced I can't off the top of my head remember everything else that they've announced. We're still waiting on the Drifters omnibus to come out. The last 2 volumes of Trigun will be out soon in the beginning of the new year. So just Dark Horse, I think they're a publisher who embodies the idea, in my opinion. As long as you're a big fan of seinen, they embody the idea of quality over quantity. They don't put out the most books out of every publisher. That might be Seven Seas, actually. I think they might do the most. But the ones that they do put out are always heavy hitters. And after stumbling with as far as having to deal with a lot of delays and stuff and just not having a ton of material coming out for a few years due to reasons amplified by the pandemic and that kind of carried over and things with internally, they were bought and sold a couple of times. They're finally kind of back on top of their game, and putting out so much good stuff, and not just in the manga department, but in their comics as well. But I feel like because of the success of the uh, the deluxe edition hardcover line that started 5 years ago with Berserk, I think because of that success, the uh, publisher at large is now kind of giving more freedom to the manga uh, side of things, to the manga department, to invest more into these big projects. And with that, the way that things have been going, their attention to bringing back old things that they kind of uh, let go on hiatus for a little while, like Oh My
Mhm.
Goddess and Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service, bringing back old licenses like Trigun and Gunsmith Cats, and bringing in exciting new things like Innocent. I think that if they continue down that trend, we're going to be seeing a really, really impressive year, a really impressive lineup coming from Dark Horse in 2025. So, for those reasons, Dark Horse is my publisher of the year for manga 2024.
There you go. Nice. I was split. I didn't know which publisher to choose, but then I realized there's one publisher out there that puts out a huge chunk of what I buy and look forward to every month or every 2 months or whatever. And that, let me go back all the way here. I got to go with the folks at Seven Seas. I most of my manga, my physical manga, is from Seven Seas, and I'm just going to show you 5 series that I collect, and they all happened to be. I was looking at my favorites, and I kept looking at the spine. I'm like, yeah, Seven Seas. Oh, Seven Seas. Oh, Seven Seas. So yeah, you know, it'd been funny if I picked 7 books, Seven Seas, but whatever. I ain't got time for that. So Seven Seas puts out stuff like Kimono Jihen, which I absolutely adore and love. I need more yokai manga in my life, and this is great for like shonen battle stuff. You got stuff like Yakuza Reincarnation. Here I have volume 11 of that. Just came out recently. Super cool. One of my favorite modern isekai. I like the slightly perverted rom-coms. So here is the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Volume 11 of that. Love it. And I love me some supernatural hijinks. So here is Mysterious Disappearances, one of my most anticipated books of 2024, and Seven Seas got it. Hell yeah, let's go. And one of my favorite reads of last year continues to be one of my favorites overall, Sawada and the House of Monsters. This is also something that I really enjoy. Here we have volume 3 of that. So yeah, really unique catalog, a little bit of everything for everybody, which I appreciate. And just solid picks all around. So shout out to Seven Seas. There you go. The stack is getting huge. I'm afraid it's going to tumble in a minute. Being Queenie, thank you for joining.
I think Seven Seas had a lot of really impressive things that they put out and announced in 2024. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they have going into 2025. And I think one of the biggest strengths that they have is that there is something for everyone, and it's like not just demographic, but every genre, and not just by that, but like if you're a fan of webtoons, of manhwa, if you're a fan of novels, if you're a fan of light novels, if you're a fan of danmei, BL, GL, etc., 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 they've got some
pervy stuff for the ghost ships too. So
yeah, you've got the pervy stuff over at Ghost Ship, you've got the steamy stuff over at Steamship.
Yeah,
You've got, I should have said spicy stuff, so I didn't say steam slice. But they've got something for everyone. I think that's the thing that has become the most impressive to me.
right.
Seven Seas has had the best glow up to me of any publisher, because they went from being the one that I most was like it's all like horny and isekai that I don't care about, and now
With the shotgun licensing. Remember that joke?
yeah, and I think, and I've said it time and time again, but I think it paid off in the long run. They got enough money to start licensing the big stuff, and they've it's basically been like, I think since they got around the time that they got Tokyo Revengers, and then since then they've just been picking up steam and getting so many big licenses and stuff, and it's been really exciting to see.
Uh, they even do sports. You got volleyball manga over at Seven Seas. They got everything, man. Let's go. Yen Press wins for me, but Seven Seas is a very, very close second. Yen Press is also solid as well. Always excited to know what Seven Seas is going to release next because they can be such a wild card. I love the wild cardness. Alrighty, so we got that. Let us talk about. I split this up into two categories because I realized, well, some people write manga, but they don't necessarily draw it, and some others do. So I decided to split it up. We got best writer and best art or artist, wherever you want to go with it. I'll leave it up to you. Which one do you want to tackle first, writer or art or artist?
My choice for writer, because I could just say like the writer of one of my favorites. I could say Eiichiro Oda is my favorite writer of the year. But I thought that I'd use this time, this category to mention, we've had this year, there were two writers who passed that were like really big for me personally. Of course, one of them being Akira Toriyama and the other one being Kazuo Umezu. And I've been appreciating Akira Toriyama a lot lately, with Daima being released right now. I'm not caught up. I've only seen the first like 3 episodes, but
Oh, dude, it's so good. I
I've
love it.
liked what it's just because we don't have the dub out yet. Like, I have to pay attention, and I usually watch TV while I'm working. So I just
Keeps
haven't,
getting better.
I haven't had time to sit there and like pay attention to it. But I've just been appreciating Toriyama's work so much this year, like in retrospect, from his passing. And I not that I didn't prior, but
Mm-hmm.
in looking back and
Makes you see it in a new light after something
exactly,
like
yeah,
that happens.
you look back at everything and kind of get to see like um his body of work as one collective thing now, that has a beginning, middle, and end, and it's very interesting to look at, I guess, like especially being like how influential that he was on so many people's lives and on my childhood. Like Dragon Ball
Mhm.
Z was the first series that I watched where I knew like this is anime. This is something different. Like, I had seen like Pokemon, et cetera before that, but like Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z, like, this is an anime. This is different. This is not the same as like my cartoons that I watch.
right.
And that was a brain altering moment, going into that, and all of a sudden my synapses were rewritten, and lights were going off in my brain, and that just put me forward into everything. If it wasn't for that, I don't know that I would be this,
Right. Yeah.
um, so I have to show my appreciation, and I don't want to spend too much more time, but Kazuo Umezu also passing was huge. um he did live quite the life,
You're
and
right.
he has
Yep.
a significant bibliography under him, and we only have a small fraction of that available here in the States. But I'm thankful that Viz had started to publish more of his works, because he is so influential. And if you, I love reading works of his and seeing the influence that was drawn into more contemporary things, and the things that followed, and seeing how he was influential towards current behemoths like Junji Ito, of course, was
Oh,
inspired by him. It's just fantastic work. I love Umezu's writing, and still, it's Drifting Classroom for me that is my favorite of his, and it's stuck with me. And I think the message that he had in there was one that just resonated so heavily. Um, So yeah, those I'm gonna use those two as my highlights for writer of the year.
Nice. I didn't go that route. I forgot about that stuff. I should have.
Hey, no, I wouldn't have expected that. I wanted to go in a different direction.
Right. So I was debating on which creator to pick, honestly, because there's so much good stuff out there. And for a good while today, my instinct was heading towards Alto Yukimura with Colette Decides to Die, because I really enjoyed that first omnibus release. Very, even though it's fantastical and whimsical, it's a very humanly written series. Even if you have creatures and gods and all that stuff interacting with the protagonist, they all sound very human, and there are some core elements to that story that are very human in nature. So I was going to go that route, but last minute plot twist, I went with Natsumi Ito. I really enjoyed My Dear Detective, Mitsuko's Case Files, and the mysteries here aren't like super groundbreaking or anything, but it's the way that these characters are behaving in an era where, I mean, you could say not a lot has changed since then, but there has been some change. But in the midst of the oppression that, in the case of women, are facing in this book, and how the main character is able to proceed and disregard that, because why would you let that stop you? And be courageous and brave enough to move forward in the face of adversity. That's always super inspiring, and that's one of my favorite tropes and things that I like to read about. And who doesn't love a good mystery book? So yeah, again, My Dear Detective and Ito, probably one of my favorite writers of the new manga that I read in 2024. There you go. Place that over here. I hope it doesn't fall. KC, I really appreciate 7Cs for publishing a lot of LGBT stuff. Yeah, definitely. I feel like best writing writer is such a difficult category to choose from. I guess I'll highlight Nagahama, To Be or Not to Be. It's a simple high school romance, but Scarlett Betiko truly captures an indie teenage romance in a very wonderful way with humor. It also does humor well. Nice. Alrighty. So, what about art or artist? Which route did you go with?
I went more the normal route on that and decided I'd highlight Shinichi Sakamoto
Ooh, nice.
or DRCL or Dirkle, as I
There we go.
affectionately call it, Midnight Children,
Right.
and Innocent. This year we got our first Sakamoto releases in English, with Innocent at Dark Horse and Midnight Children at Viz, and then next year Viz is also bringing us The Climber, which was one of the most wanted licenses in English. I remember people watching the show might remember that when I talked to Carl over at Dark Horse, that he let me know like they were interested in publishing The Climber, but I guess they didn't get it. So I was really surprised that Viz wound up getting that one since he was so interested. But you snooze, you lose. Basically, like they wanted it, but waiting to see how Innocent did, and we're gonna jump on it after that. But I think Viz finally opened their eyes and realized like there's money to be made over here.
Right. Yep.
So they got those, and we should be seeing Innocent Rouge next year as well, from Dark Horse, the follow-up to Innocent. He's a beast of an artist, like very like let me just grab one of the volumes of Dirkle.
Dirkle, baby, let's go. Only 3 hardcovers out so far. I remember making the joke earlier in the year that for some reason I thought it was a 2-volume thing. And then like, no, there's a 3rd volume. I'm like, what? It's an ongoing. How much are you gonna milk the Dracula story? But yeah, it's still going.
I'm trying to look for a good page to display like his art, but it's just so striking and
Right.
um,
Highlight you.
fantastically detailed, and
Mhm.
something that he does. I know in Innocent, I believe in Dirkle as well, is there's a lack of sound effects in his work. So the dialogue and the art have to speak for you. You don't get sound effects in there. You which I it's interesting, and it just helps me to feel the art a little bit better.
Right.
And he
Yep.
doesn't have that in there. It makes it come off more as a fine piece of artwork rather than being a comic that has like like across no disrespect to anyone else, but I think that it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah,
make.
yeah.
Um, Dirkle itself it's a retelling of the original Dracula story, the novel, in a different setting, and it's just fantastic. If you, I don't even care if you like Dracula or not, if you like vampires or not. If you like manga with really good artwork, you should pick it up. It's just
Hey,
that it's good.
it's Nosferatu Day.
It is
Thank you,
not.
Bob. We still are talking about vampires, so there you go.
I can't recommend it enough.
Elon, I love that book. Nice.
Gorgeous, absolutely fantastic, and I hope that the publishers continue to just push out as much as they can, because I know he has a few older works as well. So I'm hoping that he becomes something that like either Viz or Dark Horse will be like, people will buy everything that he had his name
Yes.
on. So let's put out like a anthology of his one shots and stuff.
He has that potential to break out into superstardom and to become one of those character writers like or artists like Inoue and homie from Blade of the Immortal. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Samura.
Some more, yeah. Artists like that are super defined and artistic, and people immediately gravitate towards. Like you go, ooh, that's an interesting piece there. So he's on the cusp of greatness in the West. So I hope it works out.
I want to see art books.
Sleazer, is the story good? If you like, I mean, go ahead. Good. Sorry.
I was just saying I want to see some art books with like the like panels blown up to massive size. I'd love to see an exhibition. I don't know if they've done exhibitions of his artwork and stuff. Um, the story wise, I enjoy it. If you like vampire stories, if you like Dracula, even if you don't, like it's something that I think is very enjoyable as far as an interpretation of a classic story. I would say that as far as narrative goes, Innocent is probably a lot stronger,
Mhm.
um, but both of them are gorgeous. And even if the story sucked, I would still recommend it just based on the artwork.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Bring on the vampires, but I was blown away by Innocence. I had a tough time picking this because there's a lot of good artwork right there out there. Kane, I thought about these creators for a while. Daruma Matsura, so Steel of the Celestial Shadows. I love when you have high contrasting art with cartoonish elements for the cast. Immediately, I think of Kotoyama and the distinct art that he does for the characters set with realistic backgrounds. It just pops from the page, in my opinion. And then Kinoshita with Dinosaur Sanctuary, lovely series. But ultimately, I'm a sucker for some good character designs, and my pick is out of left field for me. I mean, I like the book, I reviewed it, but I went with Sumiko Arai's Green Yuri. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. I love with a capital L the character designs and the art in this book. Aside from the green tones, there's something very um, articulate and expressive about these girls and what they're doing, and it it feels like I'm watching a movie in page format or an anime, I guess. Just really good stuff. Like super detailed, interesting, cute, nice, beautiful at times, wacky. Just I think it has a little bit of everything. Plus, adding all the green tones makes this for a very engaging read. I was interested to see what was happening here in every single panel. I mean, look at how expressive everybody is. The eyes in particular. Love this series a lot. There's some more scenes right there. This cool stuff. Some people complain about the price, but I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, this stuff, it ain't cheap to make. I get you. It's a little expensive, but I understood. So that was my pick for art or artist. Story's all right too. This one, look at that. And you even got the green in the irises. So that's my pick. Don't fall. Okay. Let's see. Sleazer, thank you for joining. Finally catch one of your the live streams. Thank you so much. Go Tanabe with the Lovecraft manga adaptations have been my favorite artist of the year. Hell yeah. Only 2 volumes came out this year. I'm going with Yuki Tabata for art with Black Clover, volumes 34 and 35. Some of my favorite art from. I was surprised you had not mentioned Black Clover yet on the stream, Javier. I know you are a massive fan of that series. It's not a 2024 debut, but I read the first 10 volumes of Toilet Bound Hanako-kun in 2024, and something about the art style scratches a certain itch in my brain that no other series scratches, I think. But we did get the box set for the second box set for Hanako-kun, so it does count as a 2024 release. And volume 21 comes out soon as well. Art that I read and loved, Ryuko by Yoshimizu. Writing, story-wise, The Boxer is my favorite story. Nice. Cool stuff, gang. Love to read everybody's picks. Let's see. Best designed manga or best collected edition. What are we going with? Oh, there we go. Look at that bad boy. Yeah, that's a good one.
This was the one that, like, when I got it, my jaw dropped. I was like, holy shit, this is beautiful. I already love the way that Dark Horse's deluxe editions looked, but I think that starting with Mountains of Madness, they've really started to try to take them in different directions, in interesting directions. And I have heard from 2 different people that the plans that they have for future, I don't have any specific books that I know are happening, and I don't have any specific things that they've said, but 2 different people that work for Dark Horse have told me, like, we're looking to do really creative things with the future of these releases of
Nice.
the deluxe edition lines. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do after something like this. Trigun was more in lines with the others, but this brought us something different. I think one of the big complaints that some people have with these deluxe hardcovers, they don't like the, like, plain single color with, like, an icon on it or something like that. And the spines, they complain about being too plain. Not myself, but those who are the naysayers of this format. And this kind of just completely blew all of that away. It went with the motif of the paperback volumes in having wraparound artwork, and gave it a gorgeous silver glossy cover, with the title in blocks, just how they do it on the paperbacks, using artwork from the interior. And then we have the end pages have more artwork of black ink on silver pages, and here's the end pages at the back, and has silver gilded. I really hate saying that because gilded is for gold, but it's silver gilded, silver gilt edges on the pages, and it's just such a gorgeous volume for a equally gorgeous story. And I know like there was just some praise for the Gotanabe Lovecraft releases, and I can't echo that praise enough. Each of these is just so well done. Like there when you get like adaptations, like comic or manga adaptations of novels and novellas and short stories and stuff like that, like prose, um, they don't always like they often come up short for me because you're translating into another medium and usually like cutting out the fat, trimming the fat, so to say. Um, and the comic artists that usually do this don't do the best job of translating the narrative into the artwork and displaying what I think the original writer was going for, and then just having the dialogue there without all the description and stuff like that. The
Mhm.
dialogue, internal monologues, and stuff like that. Um, but Gotanabe does it so beautifully and so seamlessly that it to me doesn't feel like there's any loss here at all. Um, and it's such a well told story, and it's just filled with so much amazing dread, and I love it so much. There's no news yet about any more of the Tanabe Lovecraft books coming out in this format, but if this was a success at all,
Yeah.
I would say it's probably going to happen. I think the chances are pretty good that it's going to happen.
I bought the Cthulhu manga, and I'm pretty damn sure I wasted my money because that is going to get a deluxe edition at some point. Plus the fact that it's Cthulhu, it's famous enough that even if the other books don't do well,
Yeah.
hypothetically, Cthulhu warrants enough of a big release. So stay tuned. Best collected edition. For me, it's a tie. I have the two books here, and it's a tie. I tried to pick one or the other, but one of them is something that I'm very passionate about. The other one, not so much, but it is a gorgeously crafted soft cover omnibus release. And that goes to from Kodansha. Probably know what it is. The initial D. Omnibus one. I love how this looks. I think this should have won the what was it? The American Manga Award for thing display, whatever. I'm not good with words right now. It didn't win, which is a shame because I think this is a work of art and it perfectly highlights the awesomeness of the series. It's funky, it's bright, it's in your face, but it's also classy too. And of course, you got the variant cover here with the original cover for Volume One, and everything inside just looks fantastic. I've said it before. The chat is probably sick and tired of hearing this, but I'm not a car guy. But this makes me believe that I am a car guy, and I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go, cars, vroom vroom. Look at this. Look at this. Holy crap. This is very sexy, folks. So definitely one of my favorite releases. My pick for best collected edition, and the other one, technically not a manga, but it is from a mangaka, and it's the first time we're getting the art book published in the West. So, I have to do it. This is probably my favorite collected edition. Yokai by the GOAT, my favorite mangaka, Shigeru Mizuki. This is a work of art, and I am very passionate about these creatures, and this book is stunning. I love it so much. I cannot recommend it enough. If you have any interest in yokai lore, Shigeru Mizuki, even if you're just a casual fan of stuff like Gegege no Kitaro, for example, I think you could get so much out of this. So many wonderful illustrations from a true artist of this wonderful medium that we're geeking out over. Just wonderful illustrations that will make you believe that all these wonderful yokai are alive and well right now in Japan. Just phenomenal stuff. I have been dying to get some of the stuff physically, because we saw them in like France and some other countries that I'm forgetting right now, and I was super jealous. Unfortunately, I could never find a seller that would, sell it to me. So it always eluded me. But just fantastic stuff, and of course, it has the blurb here, so you can learn about the different yokai. Fantastic stuff. Here's one of my favorites. Love this guy. I wonder, I'm forgetting the name. Also, you can see how good Mizuki was at drawing stuff. A cartoonist, somewhat of a Gekiga artist. That's up to debate. Some people think he wasn't, other people think he was. Just really fun expressions, and the backgrounds and everything just phenomenal. This is one of my favorite pieces overall by Mizuki. These yokai are earless pigs. Fun fact. So definitely this is on my made up list of best collected editions of 2024. And technically in the bag, it is listed under comics, graphic novels, and manga. So it counts, nerds. That yokai book looks amazing. I highly recommend it. It is phenomenal. It was solicited for October of last year, and we had to wait a full year to get it. But man, was it worth it. Can't recommend it enough. So there we go. That's my favorite collected edition. Now let's look a little bit into the future. What do you think is your most anticipated release of 2025?
I have two that came to the top of my mind for kind of different reasons. One is the Vagabond Definitive Edition from Viz. Because not that they've never done these large hardcovers before, but this will be the first of the definitive editions that they've done like this, where they're like re-releasing something in this type of format. And I'm really curious how well this is going to come out. I'm curious to hold it in hand and judge it for myself against what we've seen from other publishers, judging against the similar hardcovers over at Dark Horse, the Ubel Blot that I showed earlier from Yen, Vinland Saga.
Sleazer, yeah. Sorry, Sleazer, go back and Riley showed that off a little bit.
Yeah, go back to earlier in the video. As you can see, it's not open, but or check out my TikTok, and in the next couple days, I should have a video where I'm going to open it and take a look at it. But comparing to Vinland Saga over at Kodansha, and see how theirs stands up, and then I'm assuming because Viz has money, like that they put a lot of good work into that volume, and we can kind of judge from there what might want to see, what other titles we might want to see join the definitive edition line at Viz. So that's the first one, and then the other one I'm looking forward to is Steel Ball Run. So excited about Steel Ball Run finally getting an official English release. We knew when it was going to happen, like just judging by the releases and stuff. We knew if we stayed on schedule exactly when it would be announced and when it would be published. But it still feels great to have it, and it looks, for all intents and purposes, it looks like around the time when that first volume drops in May, we're going to get the announcement of an anime adaptation probably in April. So it's going to be really fun to have 2025 be the year of Johnny Joestar and Gyro Zappelli. I can't wait. Like, it's by and far my favorite part of JoJo's. And I've been reading JoJo's since 2005. So next year will also be my 20th anniversary of reading the series. And Steel Ball Run was one of those just rewrite your brain chemistry type titles for me. Like it hit so well in so many different ways. And I can't wait to have an official English release on my shelf with all the funny English names Can't wait to see what they use for Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. So yeah, those are my picks. What I'm excited about from what I could remember is coming out in 2025.
My pick. I'm looking at the for the name right now because I'm blanking on it. I shouldn't, but that's just how it goes. This actually comes out next month. This is one of my most anticipated books for the year. I got 3 actually. The first one is from Yen Press. Hell is Dark with No Flowers, Volume 1, finally coming out. I was really excited when that got announced. It is a very dark, mysterious yokai book that mixes morality into its plot. And I'm super excited for it. It's going to be the first time that I read it. And hell yeah. The second one, I too will go with Steel Ball Run. I've always wanted to read it because I know the JoJo formula from the first 6 parts, but part 7, I know what it is, and it's such a departure from everything else that
Yeah.
I can't help but be intrigued to want to own that first hardcover. So I will be picking that up. And something a little bit more laid back or friendly, I guess. Sumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life. It's about a fun little manga about a wolf girl that goes to school, and the whole school is filled with monsters. So it fills that need to have like creature, monsters, yokai, that sort of thing. So if I had to choose. Oh yeah, Pet Shop of Horrors. That's another good one. Delicious in Dungeon art book. Nice. There were 11. Fish Society, if they actually come out. The Vagabond. I'm excited that it's coming out, but I put in so much effort to track down the freaking Bizbigs that I don't think I'll have somebody that's going to buy them from me. So I think I'm going to keep the old releases. But I'm excited that it's a thing, and it looks pretty sweet too. Let's see for my list here if I'm missing anything. A Witch's Life in Mongol. That sounds pretty interesting and exciting. I do want to read that. And there is something that I wanted to check out from Kodansha. The Nioshimi book. What was it? Toxic Daughter, I think it was. Right? Toxic Daughter Chan. There we go. They also have Drag Q coming out. The first volume comes out soon, and that's another vampire manga. So a bunch of cool stuff. Legend of Kamui. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I hope it sells well, because this year we had what was the name of it? Sarutobi Sasuke?
Yeah,
Sasuke.
I think that one's gonna. I think Kamui is gonna be really different from that, though.
But I mean, in terms of obscurity, that newer manga readers would be like, I don't want to read that. That's like old manga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me Jujutsu Kaisen and what the other thing that kids are excited. I don't know. But Kamui looks intense, and it's a legendary series. So I've never read it, but I do want to check it out. Rosen Maiden. Yeah, that's getting a collector's edition. Also true. There's a good. I don't want to spoil it, folks, but I have a video that I'm working on, which is about the most anticipated 2025 releases. I'm literally working on it right now while we do this stream. So that should come out, if not tomorrow, then on Monday. So look forward to that. I go over at least 7 months worth of new manga. It's insane. I'm losing my mind here, fixing that and creating that video. I've got a lot of manga to sell, but I've never sold online before, and it intimidates me. LMAO, I might just have to do Facebook Marketplace for Meetup only for my own sanity. Yeah. I don't have anybody here that's interested in buying my stuff. I don't know.
I honestly just take everything to half price books.
I don't have a half price books either. Sorry.
like I know like I get a fraction of the cover price for it, but for like just ease of it, I don't
Yeah,
feel like I'm trying to sell individual books and stuff like that, and um that's just the easy way for me to like. I'm like, oh, here's a box of stuff. You're gonna give me like $50 for it. Okay, that's fine.
I donate manga. I thought about it, but I'm not sure the nearest library to me is accepting. They probably should. I don't know. I would have to look into it. Although I would like to get some money back, to be honest. I get the donation. That's awesome. That's great. But, you know, which is a little tight these days. So if I can make a few bucks out of old manga, then I'll take it. Will Kingdom be on your list? No. No. I don't even care about it, but it's so funny to me that I'm on the Kingdom hate train with it. Sorry. Though I feel that came back to bite me in the butt because Marvel refuses to put out what's the Inhumans in omnibus format. So maybe it's because I'm insulting the Kingdom community by agreeing with the memes and humor. I should just stay quiet. I know it isn't coming, but I want Hajime no Ippo. I would have added Ashita no Joe because it looks really pretty, but I ordered it, but I don't have it here with me. So literally just came out.
I don't got it yet either. I just
Well,
ordered it.
right. There is a place where you can buy stuff and get it relatively quickly, and that is our sponsor, InStockTrades.com, your home for collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperback, hardcovers, manga, all the manga that we talked about tonight. You can get it at InStockTrades.com for great discounted prices that range from 42 to 50% off at times. Free shipping in the US at $50 or more. And the loyalty discount adds an extra 2% discount to your order if you make it on a week-by-week basis. Great packaging, wonderful customer service. That is InStockTrades.com, our lovely sponsor. Also, a quick reminder that there is a gift card giveaway valued at $50. That will take place on the last show of the year, Monday. So stay tuned for that. It's the Omnis. We're going to talk about the best collected editions of 2024. Jess said he's bringing a lot of his friends. I don't know who's going to show up. I have not been informed. So it's going to be a fun stream. I hope you tune into that next Monday. So shout out to IC. Hey, Bob, let's go. Ordered Ashita no Joe from IST. I did so as well.
Same. I think from what I looked at, I think they have it cheaper than anyone else.
Oh, yeah. That price definitely is intimidating for new readers that want to buy older stuff like that, classics. They see that, what is it, 50, 56?
I think
Close
it's
to 60?
I think it's a $65 book.
Ashita no Joe manga. Let me Google that real quick. Yeah, $60.
Yeah,
you see that price tag? It's a lot.
On Facebook, in the Otaku's Farm group, one of the members there asked about it, and someone else responded that they were going to get it once they can find it for not $78.99 Canadian dollars. So like the price Canadian is ridiculous.
And the thing is, if you don't have a lot of money, think about it. $60 for one hardcover. That's 6 separate manga volumes that you can get roughly at $9.99. I know those aren't the prices for every manga out there, but generally speaking, let's just say 4 or 5 books instead. So I get it. Fortunately, you got wonderful stores like In Stock Trades, and you can get it for how much was it?
$30
$38. Well, a little bit, a buck or two more because I have the discount going right now, the loyalty one. But yeah, 35% off on that book is great. So go check it out. Pre-ordered Ashita no Joe from the Crunchy store. It was a good price, but still like 6 more than IC. The problem with me with the Crunchy store, and then I can't do it. That $7 shipping price just kills it. Those $7 I can save up by IC and other websites. So, and I'm not gonna get the premium thing tier to lower the shipping costs. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Lowered it yourselves. You can do it. You're not going to lose that much money. Going up from 50 to 75. That's ridiculous. B&A had it on the shelf. Nice. Have any of y'all read the Before One Piece book? That's Wanted, right?
Yeah, I got it. I haven't sat down and read it yet.
Speaking of reads, oh shoot, what was it? I think I read before I went. Oh man, it was right here. I had a book that I wanted to talk about. Oh, shoot, what was it? 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 I don't know. I'll remember once we end the show. That's usually what happens. I like and want to try out too many different manga to buy a $60 book. Usually, I do make exceptions sometimes, and for even more expensive, Ashitano Joe just isn't one of those exceptions for me. Also, the thing is, it's only 8 hardcovers, so I know there's an end goal there, and I can put that money towards it. If it's like it's going to be 22 hardcovers, I'm like, I'm good. I'll pass. But it's only 8. So I can save up for it. I just wait for manga to get 50% off on the basis side. Then again, I still have a backlog and I haven't purchased any manga, new or old. I read Wanted a long time ago. Did you like it? I want to check it out, but not high on my priority list at the moment. So there you go, folks. That is the Omnis manga edition. If you want to find out about the regular Omnis, tune in on Monday. We do this Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So next Monday, you got the final show of the year, plus the extra bonus one with the Hall's previews, reads, all that fun stuff. Next Thursday, we should be doing the previews for January. So if you want to find out, here are commentary on what's coming out in the month of January. A lot of interesting stuff. Tune into that show. And then on Fridays, actually tomorrow, Lou and Jess are going to do the best of media. So they're going to talk about games, movies, TV shows, prose novels, food. I don't know. Cars, something, anything that's not comic that's going to get discussed. Best pets of 2024. They're going to talk about best brand of underwear for 2024. A lot of best stuff is going to happen tomorrow. So if you want to tune in for that, it's super exciting. It doesn't sound as exciting right now as me describing it, but trust me, it will be super exciting. Go check out tomorrow's stream here on this very channel. Roughly, actually earlier than tonight. We tend to start late. Sorry about that, folks. So tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody. Sleazer, thank you guys. Love these streams. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. Glad to catch a stream. Hoping to catch the next one too. Have a good one. Well, we're on here. We've been doing it for how long? 7 years now, I think.
Long ass time.
We've been pretty consistent about doing the streams. Very rarely do we miss a live stream. And it's usually because either somebody's sick, there's a holiday, or something. But I'm always on because I got nothing else to do. So you can find me here. Actually, you can find me on my channel, Manga Geekdom. I just posted a haul video, and I should have that anticipated manga releases for 2025 coming out soon. If you want to catch me on social, you can go to Blue Sky and Twitter. Just search for Manga Geekdom. And what else? I don't know. I got nothing else. Insufferable Omnibus Collector. Where can people find you?
The Omnibus Collector on pretty much all platforms. Just look up Omnibus Collector, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. I've been silent on YouTube for a couple months now, but now that things have settled, I finished setting up the library. I got back from vacation. The holiday is over. I got a few days of freedom before returning to work. So I'm going to try and get out my tour of the new library. 8,000 plus volumes of manga. So it'll be a pretty significant video. And then I'm going to put out the obviously very late guide through everything that came out in November and December. And then in January, I'll try my best to have the January guide on time. And I might follow suit with Geo and do a most anticipated of 2025 releases, but I'll probably try to keep it down to 25 for 2025 instead of
not what I'm doing.
Yeah, not the massive amount that Geo's got going on.
Yeah, it's past 100 books, guys. That's why it's taking so long to make. I believe the count was 140-ish books, and I eliminated some because I had way too many of a certain genre or whatever. And I'm like, no, I got to balance things out. So I'm picking stuff for everybody, from shonen to shojo to even ghost ship lewd titles to whatever, deluxe editions. I got a little bit of everything for everybody. So yeah. Last minute comment: the Sanda teaser for Science Saru already looks crazy good. You know why it looks amazing? And that is why Orange failed with their adaptation of Beastars. Science Saru is adapting Itagaki's art. And even though it's animated, you see her artistry there with the character designs. Whereas Beastars is very, very sterilized. And part of the fun and why I love Beastars so much is because of Itagaki's art. It's so unique, so different. And while I love the anime, it's not the same. I get so much emotion and joy out of the manga. And with the anime, it's all right. Mostly comes down to the performances, which makes it or break it for me. But the Sanda trailer looks amazing. I hope that's some good news that we might get an announcement, preferably Viz, that they're going to put out Sanda, because that ended not too long ago. So I would like to own it. I would like to own all the Itagaki manga. Fun fact: the original, I read online the original pilot, or not a pilot. The inspiration behind Sanda was a one-shot chapter that she created, where it's a Santa-like old man hanging out with a prostitute in a love hotel, and the conversation that they have. From that, she got inspired to flesh out the characters and create the world of Sanda. Could not make that up. She also has a Kappa story and one with I think it's Arabian Nights that I really want to see published or in English, even if it's digital. I'm a huge fan of Paru. It's a shame that we only have Beastars and Drip Drip. Have a good night, day, y'all. Oh, my Discord. Thank you, James. That's my Discord if you want to hang out. We are close to reaching 100 people on that Discord. I am so proud of that community. That's awesome. Thank you, everybody. Amazing stream tonight, as always. It's been a wonderful year for the manga community, and 2025 doesn't show any signs of slowing down. Take care, everyone, and see you all next time. To be honest, I still really like what Orange did with me. Yes, I like it, but I love the manga more. But I don't want to discredit the anime because the final season that's airing now, it's really good too. Paru's awesome. And she's got that horny ghost manga that's happening right now. Yeah, that too. Creative mind. That's it, right? We got nothing else. Join the show tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Monday. We keep the train rolling. So peace and love. God bless. Stay safe out there. Have a great night. We will see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Where's the thing? Hit the like, subscribe, share the thing. Tell your granddad, tell your friends at school, your teacher that doesn't know crap about manga. Show them this stream. They're going to be confused as hell, but they're going to enjoy it anyways. Do that for me, please. I'd appreciate it. All right. Bye, everybody.